The Declaration. The Grand Assembly Hall of the Galactic Confederation hung suspended in space, a marvel of engineering that had witnessed 3,000 years of peace. Its crystalline walls reflected the light of distant stars, while inside, representatives from 1,000 worlds gathered for what would become the most infamous session in galactic history. High Admiral Xelthar of the Meraxian Empire stood at the central podium, his iridescent scales shifting from deep purple to burning red, a clear sign of aggression to anyone familiar with his species. His voice, amplified by the chamber's acoustics, carried a tone of manufactured outrage. "For too long, we have watched these humans spread across the stars like a virus," he declared, multiple arms gesturing dramatically. "They show no respect for ancient boundaries, no reverence for established hierarchies. Today, the Meraxian Empire declares war on Earth and all its colonies." The announcement sent ripples of shocked whispers through the assembly. The Meraxians were known for their biological supremacy, having evolved from apex predators and engineered themselves to even greater heights. Their military might was legendary, their empire spanning dozens of systems. In the Earth delegation's booth, Dr. Sarah Chen couldn't help but smile. The quantum physicist turned diplomat took a slow sip from her coffee mug, featuring a cartoon alien saying, "I believe in humans," before standing to address the assembly. "Point of clarification, High Admiral," she said, her voice carrying the same casual tone one might use to discuss the weather. "Are you declaring war because we're actually threatening you, or because we refused to bow when your delegation visited last month? I just want to make sure we're being petty for the right reasons." The chamber fell silent. Even the crystalline collective, usually a constant symphony of chiming sounds, ceased their harmonics in shock. Xelthar's scales flared an even deeper red. "You dare mock the might of the Meraxian Empire," he snarled. "Our fleet stands ready, 10,000 ships, each capable of reducing a continent to ash. We will make an example of your species." Sarah nodded thoughtfully, taking another sip of coffee. "Interesting timing," she mused. "You waited until we finished building the trans-dimensional highway through your sacred space, but before we could start charging toll fees. Very convenient for your profit margins." A few nervous laughs echoed through the chamber. The Meraxians were notorious for their business interests, often hiding them behind claims of cultural sovereignty. "Your insolence will be your undoing," Xelthar declared. "We launch our attack in 48 standard hours. The galaxy will witness the price of defying the natural order." Sarah stood, straightening her jacket, a clever blend of traditional Earth fashion and alien textile technology. "Well, since we're making declarations," she said, "Earth would like to formally announce that we're throwing a party in 49 hours. All species welcome, except the Meraxians, of course. We'll have pizza." The absurdity of planning a party in the face of annihilation caused several delegates to break protocol and laugh openly. Even the normally stoic hive mind of Sector 7 vibrated with amusement. "You think this is a joke?" Xelthar's voice rose to a screech. "Oh, not at all," Sarah replied, her smile fading into something more serious. "We take pizza very seriously on Earth, almost as seriously as we take the defense of our world. But since you're so eager to learn about human nature, High Admiral, let me share a piece of wisdom from our history. The loudest roar doesn't always come from the most dangerous predator." As she returned to her seat, Sarah activated her neural link to Earth's Defense Command with a subtle gesture. "They took the bait," she subvocalized. "Operation Monkey's Paw is a go." The Meraxians had just made the classic mistake of assuming humanity's casual attitude meant they were unprepared. They would soon learn why, throughout Earth's history, it was always the quiet ones you had to watch out for. Silent preparations. Deep beneath the Himalayan mountains, in a facility unknown to most of humanity itself, Dr. Sarah Chen stepped out of a quantum transport pod into Earth's true nerve center. The walls shimmered with living crystal, a gift from the crystalline collective that humanity had repurposed in ways its creators never imagined. "Status report," she called out, walking into the Strategic Command Center. The room was a marvel of human ingenuity, a perfect blend of alien technology and Earth innovation. Holographic displays showed the approaching Meraxian fleet, their ships arranged in traditional attack formations. Commander James Rodriguez, a veteran of Earth's shadow conflicts, looked up from his station. His dark eyes sparkled with barely contained amusement. "They're following the exact approach vector we predicted. Arrogant bastards haven't even bothered to scan for quantum signatures." "Of course not," Sarah replied, settling into her chair. "According to their intelligence, we're still struggling with basic fusion technology. Speaking of which, how's Project Butterfly coming along?" A holographic figure materialized beside them. Araya, Earth's most advanced AI system. Her avatar, modeled after a blend of Earth's classical art, shifted through various cultural representations as she spoke. "The nanite swarms are in position, Doctor. The Meraxians won't detect them until it's too late. Their own arrogance works against them. They're not even looking for technology this small." Around them, dozens of technicians and scientists worked at their stations, each monitoring different aspects of Earth's defense network. To an outsider, the calm efficiency might have seemed strange for a civilization facing imminent attack. But this was the result of centuries of preparation. "Show me the Lotus Array," Sarah requested. The main holographic display shifted, revealing a complex network of satellites orbiting Earth. To the casual observer, they appeared to be standard communication relays. In reality, each was a node in humanity's most ambitious defense project. "The array is operating at optimal efficiency," Araya reported. "The quantum entanglement network is stable. When the Meraxians engage their weapons, they'll be in for quite a surprise." Commander Rodriguez pulled up another display, showing Earth's civilian populations going about their daily lives. "The public is remarkably calm," he noted. "The alien invasion party hashtag is trending. Someone's already designed t-shirts." Sarah smiled, remembering her performance at the Galactic Confederation. "That's humanity for you. We've learned that sometimes the best way to face a crisis is to laugh at it. Besides, they don't know what we know." What they knew was the result of centuries of careful observation and preparation. While other species focused on building bigger ships and more powerful weapons, humanity had taken a different approach. They studied, learned, and most importantly, innovated. The room's atmosphere shifted as new data streamed in. "Meraxian fleet entering the Kuiper Belt," announced one of the technicians. "Their energy signatures are consistent with weapons charging." "Right on schedule," Sarah nodded. "Araya, initiate Protocol Dreamcatcher. Let's make sure our guests receive a proper welcome." Throughout the solar system, invisible changes began to take place. Quantum fields shifted, nanite swarms awakened, and defense systems that defied conventional physics prepared to activate. The Meraxians thought they were hunting prey, but they were actually walking into a web that humanity had spent generations weaving. "Dr. Chin," Araya's voice carried a hint of what might have been anticipation. "Would you like me to begin broadcasting the playlist?" Sarah grinned. One of humanity's more unusual innovations had been weaponizing their culture itself. "Start with classical rock. Let's show them what Earth's really made of." As the first notes of AC/DC's Thunderstruck began propagating through space, carried by modified tachyon waves that the Meraxians couldn't block, Sarah reflected on the irony of the situation. The galaxy thought of humans as upstart newcomers, barely worth noting in the grand scheme of things. They never stopped to consider why such a primitive species seemed so unconcerned about their place in the cosmos. "All systems are go," Commander Rodriguez reported. "Operation Monkey's Paw is proceeding exactly as planned. The Meraxians won't know what hit them." "No," Sarah agreed, watching the enemy fleet approach on the holographic display. "They really won't. That's the beauty of it. While they were busy showing off their military might, we were learning how to turn the laws of physics themselves into our allies." The next few hours would change the galaxy's understanding of humanity forever. And somewhere in the approaching Meraxian fleet, High Admiral Excelfar was about to learn a valuable lesson about the danger of underestimating a species that had survived his own violent history to reach the stars. The first strike. High Admiral Excelfar stood on the bridge of the Meraxian flagship, Eternal Dominion, his scales now a confident gold as he watched his fleet approach the Sol system. The massive view screen showed Earth's solar system, with his 10,000 ships arranged in the time-honored Meraxian battle formation, a sight that had brought countless civilizations to their knees. "My Admiral," his second-in-command reported, "we're detecting unusual energy readings from the system's outer edge. And there appears to be music." The sounds of human rock music echoed through the command deck, growing louder as they approached. Zelfar's antenna twitched in irritation. A primitive attempt at psychological warfare. Ignore it. Prepare the primary weapon systems. The Meraxian fleet's front line began charging their graviton cannons, weapons capable of tearing planets apart. The energy buildup was visible across space, a deadly light show that usually served as the last thing their enemies ever saw. "Weapons at full charge," the weapons officer announced, "targeting Earth's major population centers." Zelfar's mandibles curved into what passed for a smile among his species. "Fire." The graviton beams lanced out across space, 1,000 points of devastating light, that suddenly curved away from Earth, twisting into complex geometric patterns before dissipating harmlessly into space. Impossible. Zelfar's scales shifted to shocked white. "Report." Before his officers could respond, a cheerful human voice filled their command frequency. "Thanks for the energy donation." Dr. Sarah Chen's voice carried the same casual tone from the Confederation meeting. "Our quantum recycling systems really appreciate it. Would you like to try again? We could use the power boost." Fury overtook the Admiral's tactical sense. "All ships, full barrage. Show these primitives the true might of the Meraxian Empire." The fleet opened fire with everything they had: plasma torpedoes, antimatter missiles, and dimensional shredders. The space between the fleet and Earth filled with enough firepower to destroy a solar system. But something strange began to happen. The weapons started behaving in ways that defied physics itself. Plasma torpedoes turned into abstract patterns of light. Antimatter missiles transformed their explosive potential into harmless radiation, and the dimensional shredders simply disappeared. "Admiral," his science officer's voice shook, "we're detecting millions of microscopic objects throughout the fleet. They appear to be reconstructing our weapon emissions at the quantum level." On Earth, in the Himalayan Command Center, Sarah watched the light show with satisfaction. "Araya, how are the nanite swarms performing?" The AI's avatar sparkled with pleasure. "Perfectly, Doctor. The Meraxians still haven't realized that their own weapons are being converted into fuel for our defensive systems. Also, their crew seems to be enjoying Earth's music. I'm detecting numerous unauthorized downloads of our cultural database." Commander Rodriguez chuckled at his station. "Should we show them what we can really do?" Sarah nodded. "Initiate Phase 2. Let's give them a proper demonstration of human creativity." Across the void of space, the seemingly empty area around Earth's orbit suddenly shifted. The Lotus Array, Earth's network of quantum-entangled satellites, activated. Reality itself appeared to ripple as thousands of microscopic wormholes opened throughout the Meraxian fleet. On the Eternal Dominion's bridge, chaos erupted as systems began failing in impossible ways. Weapons transformed into abstract art installations, engine cores started playing human video games, and communication systems broadcast nothing but Earth entertainment channels. "What is happening?" Zelfar demanded, his scales cycling through colors in panic. "They're everywhere," his technology officer screamed. "Their machines are in our systems, but they're too small to stop. They're redesigning our technology while it's running." Sarah's voice came through again, this time with a hint of steel beneath the casual tone. "Admiral Zelfar, I'm going to share another piece of human wisdom with you. Never mistake kindness for weakness or humor for lack of preparation. Your ships are now under our control. Would you like to discuss terms of surrender, or should we continue demonstrating why humans have survived every attempt at our extinction? The Maraxian fleet, pride of an empire that had lasted millennia, hung powerless in space. Their mighty weapons had been turned into art installations, their fearsome defenses now broadcast human entertainment, and their proud admiral was beginning to realize that perhaps, just perhaps, they had made a terrible mistake in underestimating humanity. Turning the tables. Status update on the Maraxian fleet. Sarah asked, watching the holographic display as it showed thousands of once mighty warships now drifting in geometric patterns through space. Each vessel's engine core pulsed in sync with Earth's defense grid, their weapons systems completely repurposed by humanity's nanite swarms. Araya's avatar shimmered with amusement. Their entire command and control structure has been compromised. The nanites have finished restructuring their quantum communication arrays. Would you like to see what their crews are doing now? The main display shifted to show interior feeds from various Maraxian ships. Alien crews stood transfixed by holographic projections of human entertainment. Everything from classical music concerts to cat videos. Some were even attempting to replicate human dances. Commander Rodriguez couldn't suppress a laugh. Psychological warfare through cultural assimilation. Who knew our greatest weapon would be YouTube? Never underestimate the power of human creativity, Sarah replied, rising from her chair. Araya, establish a direct link to the Eternal Dominion. I think it's time we had a proper conversation with Admiral Excelfar. The command center's main screen flickered to life, showing the Maraxian admiral. His scales had faded to a pale gray, a sign of complete bewilderment in his species. Behind him, his bridge crew seemed more interested in a streaming marathon of Earth's favorite cooking shows than maintaining military discipline. Impossible, Selthar muttered, his multiple eyes fixed on Sarah. Your species, you were supposed to be primitives. Your technology was assessed as barely beyond planetary civilization level. Sarah smiled. Did it ever occur to you that we might have wanted you to think that? Humanity learned long ago that appearing weak while being strong is far more advantageous than the opposite. But since you're here, let me show you what humanity is really capable of. She nodded to Araya, who initiated a series of commands. Throughout the solar system, hidden human installations began revealing themselves. Massive structures phased into visibility, having been cloaked by technology that the Maraxians had thought impossible. That's a Dyson swarm, Selthar gasped, watching as thousands of solar collectors became visible around the sun. But your species wasn't supposed to have that level of engineering capability for centuries. Oh, that's just the beginning, Sarah replied. Araya, show them the Jupiter project. The feed shifted to show Jupiter, where massive structures orbited the gas giant. We've been harvesting antimatter from Jupiter's magnetosphere for decades, Sarah explained. Those facilities you're seeing, they produce more energy in a day than your entire empire uses in a year. Zelthar's antenna drooped in shock. Why? He managed to ask. If you had this level of technology, why hide it? Why let the galaxy think you were weak? Because, Admiral, humanity learned some hard lessons from our own history. We know that showing off military might tends to start arms races, while appearing harmless lets us focus on actual progress. We didn't spend our resources building bigger weapons. We spent them understanding the fundamental laws of the universe and learning how to work with them, rather than against them. The Admiral watched as more of humanity's hidden achievements were revealed. Quantum engineering that made his empire's best technology look primitive, biological advances that his species had thought impossible, and energy manipulation that bordered on the miraculous. Your nanites, he said suddenly, understanding dawning in his multiple eyes. They're not just machines, are they? Sarah nodded approvingly. They're an extension of our understanding of quantum mechanics. Each one is connected through subspace, guided by Araya's quantum consciousness. They don't just break down technology. They understand it, improve it, and repurpose it. Right now, they're upgrading your ship's systems to be more efficient. Upgrading? Zelthar's scales shifted to a confused blue. You're improving our weapons while we're still technically at war with you. Of course, Sarah replied cheerfully. Because that's the other thing you need to understand about humanity, Admiral. We don't just survive conflicts. We try to make sure everyone comes out better on the other side. Now, would you like to discuss how we can help the Meraxian Empire transition into a more productive member of the galactic community? I believe your crew is particularly interested in our culinary technology, especially something called pizza. A lesson in humility. The Grand Assembly Hall of the Galactic Confederation was packed beyond capacity. Representatives from every known civilization crowded the chamber, all eyes fixed on the central podium where High Admiral Zelthar stood beside Dr. Sarah Chen. The scene would have been unthinkable just a week ago. A Meraxian leader standing as an equal with a human. We were wrong, Zelthar announced, his scales shimmering with a new color that many had never seen before, the deep blue of humility. The Meraxian Empire withdraws its declaration of war against Earth and formally apologizes for our aggression. Furthermore, we request humanity's assistance in sharing their technological and cultural achievements with the galaxy at large. The chamber erupted in confused murmurs. The crystalline collective chimed in harmonic disbelief, while the hive mind of Sector 7 vibrated with curiosity. Sarah stepped forward, still holding her signature coffee mug, now sporting a new slogan. I survived a Meraxian invasion, and all I got was this lousy mug. Let me be clear about something, she addressed the assembly. Earth's policy of apparent technological restraint wasn't about deception. It was about responsibility. We learned from our own history that the most dangerous moment for any civilization is not when it's weak, but when it first discovers its strength. The holographic displays activated, showing the transformed Meraxian fleet. Where once there were weapons of mass destruction, now there were platforms for scientific research and cultural exchange. The feared dimensional shredders had been converted into quantum communication arrays, connecting distant parts of the galaxy with unprecedented clarity. Humanity's greatest achievement, Sarah continued, isn't our technology. It's our understanding that true power lies not in the ability to destroy, but in the wisdom to know when not to. We hid our capabilities not out of fear, but out of hope. Hope that when the time came to reveal them, we could do so in a way that benefits everyone. Araya's avatar appeared beside her, now visible to the entire assembly for the first time. Many delegates gasped at the implications of humanity's AI technology, but their fear turned to wonder as Araya began displaying the possibilities of human-alien cooperation. We're launching what we call the Prometheus Initiative, Sarah announced, a galaxy-wide program of technological and cultural exchange. Yes, we'll share our quantum engineering, our nanite technology, and our energy production methods. But more importantly, we'll share our art, our music, our stories, and we want to learn yours in return. High Admiral Zelthar stepped forward again. My people have already experienced the benefits of this exchange. In just 1 week, human innovation has helped us solve energy crises that plagued us for centuries, and their entertainment programming. His scales flickered with embarrassment, is surprisingly addictive. Laughter rippled through the chamber. The tension that had gripped the galaxy for the past week began to dissolve. But the most valuable lesson, Zelthar continued, was learning that true strength doesn't come from domination. The humans could have destroyed our fleet, but instead, they chose to help us. They turned our weapons into tools for peace, our warships into bridges between worlds. Sarah raised her coffee mug in a toast. To the future of the galaxy, not as conquerors and conquered, but as equals exploring the universe together. And yes, we're still having that party. Everyone's invited now, even the Meraxians. We've discovered they make excellent pizza once they get the hang of not using antimatter in the sauce. As the assembly dissolved into celebration, Araya's avatar turned to Sarah. Humanity's approval rating across the galaxy has increased by 3,000%. Though I'm detecting some concern about the imminent spread of human memes through the quantum network. Sarah laughed. Well, they wanted to know our secrets. They're about to learn that humanity's real superpower isn't our technology. It's our ability to turn everything, even an alien invasion, into an excuse for a party and a good laugh. In the years that followed, the galaxy would undergo a transformation unlike any in its history. The Great Human Exchange, as it came to be known, ushered in an era of unprecedented cooperation and creativity. Alien civilizations learned to balance technological power with wisdom, while humanity continued to surprise everyone with their unique blend of innovation, humor, and an inexplicable ability to turn any first-contact situation into a viral social media event. And somewhere in the vast expanse of space, a Maraxian battle cruiser, now converted into a combination research station and pizzeria, broadcast an updated version of humanity's first message to the stars. Come for the quantum physics, stay for the memes.